everyone, welcome back to RTS, or record the story. Absolutely. Now what we're going to talk about today is that in order to record the story, your desk and your work surface needs to be in a ready to scrap stage, meaning you can't have clutter here, can't have clutter here, you can't have 6 boxes on the floor, you can't have 85 packages open floating around your space. You need to have a little bit of a clean area. Not that everything's perfect, because that never happens, so don't expect it. It just never happens. I've been in this game a long time, and I still have hot spots, okay? And so that's what I was going to do. I was getting ready to work on some hot spots, and so some of my subscribers had asked me if we could revisit the summer space shape up this summer, and I thought, why not? Because I'm getting ready to address a few hot spots in my area, in my space as well. So what we did in the summer space shape up is that over the summer we tackled one topic at a time. Maybe one topic, one week it was the topic of paper, and the next week it was the topic of stamps, and the next week maybe it was just doing some cleaning of your desk. It was that type of thing. It was just a very small steps, baby steps to get your space in a little bit of a summer shape up. And I will tell you that this was something that I had been working on for a couple years, and that is always keeping my desk ready to scrap. Huge game changer for me, because I can get in the habit of every time I come into this room, I throw something on my desk. I broke that habit. And of course, now you see all this stuff here. I did that for filming, of course, but I do have some hot spots in my space that I need to address over the summer, and I was getting ready to start that. So I thought, okay, we could revisit our summer space shape up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the same weeks that we did last year. Nothing's going to be new, but we're going to revisit them and talk about them because things do change every year. And so in our summer space shape up, we tackle one topic at a time, and then within that week we talked about a level 1 organizing and a level 2 organizing, okay? And so level 1 is just skimming the surface, getting things put away, but that's not deep organizing. Level 2 was a little bit more digging into a little deeper. Instead of just throwing all your dies into a bin, maybe you categorize them a little bit. So I thought maybe in this summer space shape up that we would maybe delve a little into level 3 organizing. That is where you get a little bit more deeper into how to categorize in the way you scrapbook. So that we'll talk about that. That might not work for every week, but we'll talk about that. And so I wanted to show you that we have summer space shape up notes, and of course this is 2018, but we're going to do it again this year. So if you head over to Deborah's Facebook group, the lovely Karen is so beautiful to load these PDFs onto that Facebook group. So again, the link will be below. So leave some love for Deborah and Karen for hosting that Facebook group, and then also too for Karen for doing those files, because she is quite the technology guru when it comes to doing these PDFs. And so if you want to follow along week by week, you can. If you want to just pick one week, work on that when you want to. But I will follow along the same lineup we had last summer space shape up. And so week 1 was tackling your desk and your work surface, getting your area clean. Week 2 was working on addressing some photos, and then maybe your tool caddy, things like that. So we're just going to take, again, baby steps. And if you've already done it last year, maybe you don't need to do some of it this time. Or maybe you just need a little bit of direction. You want to get your space in shape over the summer, but you don't want to spend, 2 whole days doing it. This is the way to do it. It's just baby steps. That's all it is. And then from the list, you can pick every one of those, or you can just pick one. You can just pick 2. You can just pick a half of one. It's totally up to you how you do it. There's no wrong way to do it. It's just about addressing a certain topic in your space for the next several weeks. Now, how I'm going to do it is that I'm going to do it a little different than I did last year, because what I will do is I will just link below the week we talked about, week 1, week 2, week 3, and then you can watch that video for more content. But what I'm going to do is just probably skim over what I'm doing for that week. I may not have a lot to show, but then what we're going to do is we're going to open up the discussion for if you want to do even more organizing, level 3, and then also to open the discussion about what's working for you, what's not working, what new ideas you have for that category. So that's always fun, because there are new things that come into the market all the time. Absolutely. Okay. And then So what also the other thing I was going to do is that this will not be on a weekly basis. My week 1 and week 2 and week 3 are going to pop up in order, but they're going to pop up whenever I have time over the summer. So maybe they'll be back to back. Maybe it'll be one video one day, and then 3 days later there'll be another video, or then the next one will be in a week. So what my plan is in a roundabout way is that it won't be on a weekly basis. They'll pop up whenever they pop up. You may get 2 or 3 in 1 week. It's just how the summer may go for me. But I definitely wanted to revisit this summer summer space shape up series, because some of my subscribers asked me if we could do that, and I'm getting ready to work on my space. I have some paper to put away. Full disclosure, I have some photos to put away. Oh, yes. So we'll talk about that, okay? So if you think that everything in my space is just wonderful and happy, merry, no, it's not. I have some hot spots as well, because I have been scrapbooking. I have been traveling. I have a little girl that's moving out. So we have a lot of piles. We have some hot spots. And sometimes things just get put where they're put, and you address them when you have the time. Nobody is perfect, so don't expect that, okay? And one thing I do want to say, when you look at tours, craft room tours and space tours on craft space tours on YouTube, just so you know, some women are very open and honest and say, I just spent a couple days cleaning, or not everything is in my space. There was one person who showed a craft room show, and then she said, now here's full disclosure. Then she went out to the hallway and she showed everything that she did not bring back into her space because she wanted it to look nice for filming. So just so you know, not everything is perfect. So if it looks perfect, it was just perfect for that video, or maybe perfect for that magazine spread. Nobody truly has that type of space. Nobody. Okay. Now there are times when we have it all together and things are put away, but it doesn't stay that way, because if you're creating and you're creating on a regular basis, you're going to have this. And so don't get frustrated about it. Don't get upset about it. This here is part of the creative process. When you're pulling out supplies and you're playing with them, that's part of the process. We just have to sometimes be more diligent about where we're putting them on a more regular basis. And you know that because you get to creating. For me, for the longest time, for years, I would put things on the floor, and then I would start tripping over things. I had to break that habit. I'm getting very, very good at that. And then also too, you know, you can have too many things on your desk, and then maybe you're buying too many things. So we'll talk about that in our summer space shape up this time. So again, the weeks will appear when they appear. It's not a set schedule, because we're just going to have a loosey-goosey type of summer around here. Yeah, because I have a lot going on like everybody else, okay? And I don't want to commit to something and then I don't follow through. But we are going to address summer space shape up once again. That was the purpose of this. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm absolutely going to start on week 1 in this video. Yes, I almost knocked off those photos. Okay, so in our week 1, and again, head over to Deborah's Facebook group. Give Karen and Deborah a big thank you for the Facebook group, and Karen also too for loading these PDF files. And so it's quite the papers. I mean, it's quite the number of papers, okay? And so if you do not want to follow along on week 1, but maybe you're interested in working on your dies, go back to that week where we were working on our dies. Okay, so you can skip around however you want, or you can follow along with us, or you can just simply watch what we're doing, okay? And then hopefully on Deborah's Facebook group, the gals can share their progress, maybe before and afters. Wouldn't that be fun? Absolutely. Okay, so let's just get cracking here with week 1. Why not? Because this is exactly what I'm doing right now. I really should be paying the bills, but I hate that job. I hate it. That is the one weekly task that I wish my husband would take over. I just don't like it. Because I just don't like accounting, and I don't like it. And it's not like it takes me so long, but I spend more time dreading it than I spend doing it. And you know what I'm talking about. I just don't like that job. But anyway, so I will tell you something honest. What I do is when I go to pay the bills, that is the same day that I earmark for printing photos. So what I'll do is I'll print photos for a little bit, and then I'll go write out a couple checks. And then I'll go print some more photos, and then I'll write out a couple more checks, or online paying, however that works. And so that's how I do that. So that's probably why it takes me 3 hours to pay the bills, because I'm printing photos, doing something scrapbooking while I'm working. You know what I'm talking about. Full disclosure, I'm just going to be honest. That's how I combat that task. I don't like that task. Okay. But you got to pay your bills on time. We don't want people coming down and making us sell our paper to pay our bills. No, we don't. No, we got to pay our bills. Okay. So for week 1, what do I have on Summer Space Shape Up for week 1? Well, we're going to tackle our desk and a work surface. Now, I did pull, some of these were to my left and to my right. They weren't on my desk. But these are things that I do need to put away because I've been playing and creating and, brought something new into my space. And so my little girl needed the glue. So you know what I'm talking, I have to deal with my work surface. So what do we have up? It says, tackle your desk and work surface, remove everything that does not belong. Yes, which would be all that. And I will tell you, if your main goal for this Summer Space Shape Up round, we'll call this round 2, okay? If all you simply accomplish this entire summer is keeping this area, wherever your work surface is, if you keep that clean at all times, you will have succeeded in the Summer Space Shape Up. Because if you have this area continuously clean and put away and put away and put away, and I'll give you a quick tip on how to do that, then you will be ready to scrap and record the story all summer long. You will have accomplished what you set out to do. That's all you need to do. Just keep this. Anytime something hits this desk, put it away. Hits this desk, put it away. Okay? And so that's all your main objective is. Everything else is just icing on the cake. Okay? So then again, the second thing is put away items or place in a bin for later. And that was the quick hack I was going to give you. If you do not feel like putting this stuff away, because this has to go here and that has to go there and this has to go there. Now, that is one thing I want to say right now. I'll talk about that in just a minute. So a quick thing is to get a basket or bin and put all this little stuff you don't want to deal with in, but that is one way to keep your desk and work surface clean for the entire summer, is just simply keep putting this stuff in a basket, okay? And then later on in the week, or a couple of days, not a couple months from now, start addressing these little things, okay? But just keeping this, and that's what I did when I first started keeping my desk area clean, is that I had a bin, and it was something like this, okay? This is what I showed last year, but it was something like this, and I would just put things in a bin, and it went to the right, and I would address it later, okay? Because sometimes you're in the mood to scrap, you're not in the mood to organize. Sometimes when you come back, you're in the mood to organize and not scrapbook, so that's what you do. You get that bin or that box, and you put those things away, okay? So then, as you're putting those things away this time, I want you to think about, where are you putting that? Okay, where are you putting your Nouveau drops? Where are you putting your punches? Where are you putting your ink pads? Where are you putting your enamel dots? Okay, give it a little bit more moment's notice. Where am I putting it, and does it make sense? Where I'm putting that? Does it make sense? Because you want to accomplish, when you get into level 3 organizing, and we'll talk about this over the summer too, is that you want to be able to access everything that you have in your room 30 seconds or less. Yes, that is the 30 seconds or less space, okay? And so that's what Summer Space Shape Up is, as you're putting things away, you're also thought process, okay? It's not just about, and I think this is true, and I think Tiffany Spaulding teaches this very well. And I will have her website linked below, because if you want to really get into some thought process, how the brain works, I think she's right on point. There is a difference between containerizing, organizing, and accessing. Those are 3 separate things. And if you've ever done spring cleaning, you know what I'm talking about. Because sometimes when you do spring cleaning, no matter which room you're talking about, sometimes you get so involved in spring cleaning, and then you get to moving around furniture, and then you get around, and then you start to think about decorating, and you're like, wait a minute, those are 3 different categories. So when I spring clean, I just clean. When I'm moving furniture, rearranging, that's just rearranging. Or when I want to redecorate, then those are, you can't do all 3 of them at one time. You will drive yourself bonkers. You'll be there for 3 days. And you know what I'm talking about, because that has happened to all of us. It's the same way with your scrap space. When you're putting things away, don't think, okay, well, I got to get a new container for that, or I got to clean that shelf. It's one category at a time, either containerizing, organizing, or accessing. So we'll talk about that more, but give yourself a moment's notice to think about those things when you're putting your punches away. Is that perhaps the best place where I need to put that? And then just start making some notes. Print out these this PDF that Karen has over at Deborah's Facebook group, and the link will be below for Deborah's group. Hop over, and if you need any help, just ask those lovely ladies. They will direct you where you need to go. Honestly, they're just the best group of gals. And so that's what I wanted to say. Print this out, and then during the weeks, make yourself some notes, okay? Because that's what this is all about, is learning some things along the way. Okay, then the other thing was deep clean your desk. Okay, or your work surface, wherever you scrapbook at, or card make, or craft, whatever. And that means just maybe giving it a quick wipe. Okay, that's all that means. And then the other thing is to clean your cutting or your work mat. I have one of these poster boards, and I talked about that in the video, so you can see that from last summer. I think I'm going to replace this. It's starting to get a little dinged, and yeah, I need to, I just maybe refresh. I need to get a new one. $1.99, I can afford that. Okay, so then the level 2, okay, that we talked about for week 1 was perhaps maybe cleaning your bowls and your accessories and your pencil cups and things like that. And then maybe cleaning your chair that you sit in, maybe put a new desk, new cushion mat on. How about cleaning off your lamps? Giving everything a good cleaning, okay? And you can do level 1 and it's just a quick dust, or you can do level 2 where you're absolutely getting out some water and some towels and you're giving everything a good cleaning. Now I did this in the fall for my desk, but I can tell you now it's time for it again, because in my scrap space my room gets dusty really quick. So I am going to make sure I clean my desk from top to bottom, not just a feather duster. I'm absolutely going to wipe everything down. It's time for it. I feel like it, okay? And then, then look at your area rug, give it a good sweep, pick anything off. Maybe you need to get a new area rug, freshen up your space a little bit, and then make sure there's no trash in your space, and then sanitize your trash can. I can't say that enough. Sometimes we don't think about that, okay? And that's really all that week 1 was, is just thinking what you want your space to be, and then starting off with a clean desk, whatever that clean is for you this time. Okay, you may just want to give everything a quick dusting, or you may want to absolutely get out some water, some paper towels or a dish towel, and you clean everything off, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to deep clean my chair and my cushions, and make sure my area rug is really deep cleaned, and I'm going to clean all my lights. I'm going to wipe all my light bulbs off. So basically I'm going to spring clean my desk and my chair and my rug this week. That's what I'm going to do. And of course, at the same time, every week we get a dress, making sure this work area is empty and all the stuff is either put away or placed in a bin for something later on. Okay, now you can see when it comes to photos, oh, hot spot, baby. Yeah, I got a hot spot when it comes to photos, but I think that's always going to be the case for me. Okay, so I have some Mother's Day gifts I need to put away. I got some enamel dots that I was playing with, I got to put away. And the one thing I will say is that when you are cleaning off your immediate workspace, okay, now this doesn't mean every work surface in your space, just where you scrapbook or you make cards, okay? Just this right here. That's all you got to focus on this week, okay? So when you have this kind of stuff, the one thing I will suggest that you need to put in a very particular place and be cautious is dies. Dies and stamps. Don't just throw them in a bin like this because something's going to pop off. You're going to lose something. Dies and stamps are too expensive. So you do want to kind of baby your dies. And also too, I still have the slice machine. I don't let this kind of stuff float around. I kind of address it at the end of each layout. This is too expensive to replace. So when it comes to your stamps, your dies, your cutting library, things like that, take those few minutes and put that away. Or put it in a special bin or a basket, okay? Don't throw it in with everything else. Something will get lost, okay? We've all lost a die. We've all lost a stamp. They're too hard to replace. You know what I'm talking about, okay? So don't throw those expensive items in that bin or basket to address for later. Perhaps address those now. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. So that is our summer space shape up round 2. The videos will appear when they appear. There's no schedule, but we're going to talk about that. And then also too, as we get into more topics, we're going to talk about level 3 organizing. Okay, so that when we come to paper and dies and stamps, so we'll add a little bit to that. But what I would encourage you to do is watch. I will have linked below last summer's video. Okay, and watch that if you want more specific talk. Okay, so as you're cleaning up your space, your immediate work area this week, think to yourself, what are some hot spots that I really want to address, and maybe just focus on that over the summer, or you can follow along with us, or you can, when you get this PDF, look through, and then maybe you want to just go right to the paper. Okay, and again, those videos, you can find a summer space shape up playlist, so you can just simply watch them. Okay, and then what else I want to say? I think that's it. Other than what could we add to this week for a level 3 when it comes to organizing? I would say, look at when you're sitting down at your space, okay, and you got everything clean, look around and to see what is in front of you that perhaps maybe you could clean, deep clean, or perhaps freshen up your space so that you have a fresh perspective. So for me, I'm going to switch out this poster board. Now I have to film, so it's probably going to be about the same thing, just something a little newer, a little cleaner maybe. And then in front of me, I always have different signs or little posters, and I think I have one floating around here that I could show you what I'm talking about. Okay, and it would be something like this. Okay, I get these placemats at Walmart. I think they're like $1.88, and so I have some that's like, looks like spring, looks like summer. I have some that's floral, very high energy, and so I think I'm going to replace that. I already have them, so I just change them out. So I probably, I'm not sure which one I'll do, but it'll be something pretty. Let me see. Hold on a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so I think the one I'm going to do is this one, because to me this looks like spring going into summer, so I think this is what I'm going to do. This is what I had showing, okay? And so that's been up for about, 4 or 5 months, and it just sits in front because I have like a 2-tiered desk, and it just sits in front of me. It's a little bit of an inspiration. You could do the same thing with a piece of pattern paper that you really love, and then what I do is I put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and then it just kind of stands up a little bit better. I don't have to worry about it falling. So I think that's what I'm going to do, a fresh perspective. So as you're cleaning your desk this time, and look at your cutting mat, your work surfaces. A lot of people use a cutting mat. I don't use a cutting mat anymore. I was surprised, and I talked about that in the video last round, so definitely watch more about that. Why I don't use a cutting mat anymore. Interesting. I always thought I needed a cutting mat for my work surface. I really didn't. Interesting. Okay, so now I just use one of these poster boards, and then also too, it does help with filming. And so I'm going to, this is the one I'm going to use. So think about that. Your work surface and what you're looking at, okay? Not what you're just looking down, but then also too, what are you seeing out and about? Put something pretty up. Maybe you have a piece of framed art that you like. Put that in front of you. Maybe a pretty vase or just something. Maybe a pretty paperweight. Just something pretty, okay? Or maybe change out a pencil cup, okay? We all love our pencil cups, and I talked about that in the video. I would suggest having one pencil cup, because you can get too many of these, okay? Now, that's it, providing you have a tool caddy, and we'll talk about that next week. But maybe you want to change out your pencil cup into something more pretty, okay? Or maybe replace a bowl into something that you just recently bought, or a new find, something like that. But again, you can have too many bowls on your desk, and I will also link below a video that we did, and it is titled "What is on Your Work Surface?" So we talk about that a little bit more, okay? So I'm going to get busy cleaning. I feel a freshness a coming. Yes, I like when everything is dusted and just feels clean. It doesn't last long, though, does it? It only lasts a day or two, and then the dust keeps coming back. But I'm going to give everything a deep clean, and so it'll feel good. And then at the same time, if I see things that don't belong, it's either going to go in the room that it does belong in, or I'm going to get another bin or a basket. Just get some kind of tote. I'll just put everything in there, and I will dress it when I have the time. So that is our week 1 summer space shape up round 2. Definitely list below what you're going to get into this week. Even if you're not following what we're doing, it doesn't matter. This is all about having fun and getting our summer, our space in a better shape up. If you're working on your stickers or your thickers or your dies, it doesn't matter. We'll just all talk. We'll just all have fun. Okay, so that is our roundup for today. I don't know when the next one will come. Maybe in a couple days, maybe in a week. We'll see. Okay, it's all about having fun, absolutely. So come back to RTS, because we're going to get ready to scrap to record the story. Absolutely. So come back, because you never know what we're going to do. Bye.